Raleigh, North Carolina. How you doing? How you doing? Happy rush hour. Happy rush hour. You know what time it is. You know what time it is. This is the RDU Live show right here on Oak 93.5 WROI. I'm your host, Cameron McCarty. I appreciate you for tuning in. Look, it's one of them Tuesdays. It's the end of the month, so we got the whole team. Well, we got half the team in here. Two thirds. That's right. We gotta get them fractions right.
We don't want to be on the radio talking about bad fractions.
But hey, you gotta get the decimal and put it in the right place. We got the team here.
Well, technically half. Okay. Because I didn't think about Rich. Yeah, so it's half. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all.
You see, you're not. Yeah, that's two people you gotta count for.
Yeah.
But no, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. We appreciate y'all for having us. Whether you're listening out there on the roadways on 45, 40 Glenwood, wherever you might be, go ahead, reach over, turn us up. Make sure you're buckling up. Just want to make sure you're staying safe, though. And if you're out there watching on YouTube, Facebook, Live 365, wherever you might be, appreciate you as well. Go ahead, put something in the comments. Let us know you're watching. Let us know you're listening. And don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. They say it helps the algorithm or something, the AIs or something like that. That's what they say now. And like I like to say, this is a call-in show. And that means when we're not playing music, we're going to be playing some tracks today. When we're not playing music and we just conversing here, you can call in and get in on that conversation. And that phone number is 919-899-9305. That's 919-899-9305.
Write that down, because I might not say it on my show. You might not hear it on Rich Radio. You'll see it on the flyer. It's always on the flyer, but yeah, write that down just in case I don't say it.
Just in case he don't say it. 919-899-9305 for the people in the back. So today is one of them shows where we just kind of come on here and we have some conversation. We're gonna play some tracks. Usually it's tracks that have been sent in to us, or some tracks that we've played on the RDU Live show from our guests and that kind of thing. And so today I have a topic of conversation that I want to talk about. We're gonna have a couple conversations today, but I got a topic of conversation, and it's about independent artists and some actually mainstream that are taking their music down and not putting new music up on Spotify. It's become a trend. It's been a trend for a while. We always have these conversations in the independent community, but in the last 60 days, it's become a real thing. Of course, we know about the royalties and the payouts, right? When it comes to streaming, that's been a conversation we've been having for years now.
Right.
But recently, I want to say the CEO of Spotify, he has some kind of investment firm, and he invested or put a lot of stock or whatever, owns a company. It's a military company that invests in AI defense. So they're making a whole bunch, basically making robots to do stuff, right? And it's really enraged the music community. I mean, that in itself is one thing, plus how, royalties are paid out, and then the AI generated music. So you add all those things on top of each other, and it's becoming this snowball effect that's happening. The reason this is top of mind for me, is I just gave you a little preview of Rasta. This is one of his older tracks. Rasta Slimy, Rasta and Friends. Shout out to him.
Big show.
We played Fortune Cookie right there just to give you a snippet of it. But he just released an album, and it is not hitting the digital realm. It is not hitting the digital realm. Actually went to his listening party over at School Kids Records. Shout out School Kids Records over there by NC State. He did his listening party. That was Sunday. Phenomenal time. Had a couple dope artists performed, and it was a listening party for the album. But the only way that you can get his album is he is selling them on hard drives that you can actually plug into your phone. So it's that same concept of tape, CDs, but he's taking it into this new age, and it's like a little thumb drive that you can plug into your phone. And that is the only way that you can listen to his new album. So he sold them there at the listening party, but you can also go to his website, go to his Instagram page, funnel it to his website, and you can order the physical copy. But it is not being released on streaming platforms. And I thought that was a really interesting. So it made me start looking up, different artists. And I've seen a couple other artists. I think Khalil Nassim, shout out to him. He's been interviewed here before. He's taken his music down from Spotify. Just saw he posted about that yesterday. So it's begging the question. Is there something to it? I know, shout out to Vinny Dangerous. We had him up here. He's been talking about this for a couple years now. He's been really championing this. And I want to have that conversation. Rich, what you think? I know you know a guy who does music.
Yeah, some guy. It's very interesting. Like I feel like if you already have the fan base, because what I'm thinking about is more so like how do you know what I'm saying, if it's nowhere to be found, then how does it get like certified or like nominated for like awards and accolades? That's my only thing. But if it goes beyond the awards and accolades and like you just kind of like doing it for the music itself, then yeah, I'm all for it. Or if like you have the following where you don't need to put it out on digital, your people are gonna find it because you kind of got that traffic flow to your website. You have the people just showing up physically to the shows. Like
how do you build
works.
that though? Like how do you that's the big question that I have. Like how do you build that following fan base? Because the thing with streaming has been you can reach huge audiences, right? Like you got a lot of independent artists who they might be based in North Carolina, but half of their listeners, half of their fans are in Brazil, half of their fans are in wherever. And that's been a whole thing over the last 10 years. Is like, you can just play a numbers game. But if you go strictly physical, you're building a community, but are you cutting off that fan base?
I would say that you're not really cutting it off. You're more so kind of like slow cooking it, if it makes sense, because if you're still networking, you're still putting the ground to the pavement, and the music is if it's good, it's gonna catch on. And if you're networking like you're supposed to, and you kind of got like the management or representation that you're supposed to, then yeah, it's gonna catch on. It's gonna go as long as you make sure that you don't stay in the same city, doing shows for more than a summer. Then you could definitely reach it. It would take a little bit more time, but once you got to the end of it, you would have probably the most loyal fans out there. You'd almost have a cult.
Like super fans.
Can we say
a cult following?
Yeah. Okay.
I think so.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You would have a cult following because you really won them over, like physically won them over to a point where it's like, hey, let me get one of those flash drives. Like that take a lot. You know what I'm saying? Now, and there's also you could still have maybe an internet social media presence, but like in a different way. Like maybe you kind of you do the skits and like you have your music in the background, or you kind of still do like, I would say like page promotions, or still do like your regular promo, but you got to come see me about the music, and you have like your band flyers for whenever you're doing shows. Just because the music is not on the internet doesn't mean that there shouldn't be an internet presence. So I think like it's all about how you're going about it. If once you take the music off, like however you know what I'm saying, you're reaching out to the people, that's the results that you're going to see. And then who's to say that you're going to reach out to people enough to even want to get a physical copy? Like that's why I say like it's a slow
cook. Yeah.
It's a slow cook, but like you will have that pot roast that you desire if you do it right.
Interesting. Yeah, I went to the listening party Sunday, and it just had my wheels turning. Like, Rasta, he's always on the cutting edge. He's always doing something different. He's always, shout out to, and I meant to say this earlier when I was talking about Rasta. He now has a residency at the Port House.
Big shots.
Yeah. So he's there in October, November, and December, and then he'll be doing a 3-month residency at Pinhook starting in January, then February and March. So he's really taking on, he's kind of going to that old school model, right?
That's quite groundbreaking. I really urge other artists, including that guy I know, to try to like follow suit and do something similar, because that would really open the community up like a lot, a lot. I could see someone like Cool Kid Davon with like a residency somewhere like where like you are really going to go see the show for those next 90 days. That would be dope. So yeah, that's super inspirational. Big shout out to Ross.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty big. That's pretty big. And like his new album, he's only releasing it hard copy. So he's just doing a lot of things differently right now. And I think it's that slow cook, like you said, he's trying to build that niche community, and plus the residency. It's a big play, and I'm not giving anything away here. This is you can go find this on his page. I just want to support what he's doing because it's like you said, it's groundbreaking, and I really appreciate it. You mentioned the name there. I mentioned the name Richie Nelson. You mentioned the Cool Kid Davon. It's somebody else I wanted to mention in there, and it's Deuce Tyrell, and it's one of these. There's a song out there that makes me bounce every time I hear it. It makes me bounce, and I got a runner for you guys right here. When we come out of this song, I want to talk about the economics of this whole Spotify thing. I want to dig into it a little bit, but before you do that, I want to run this every Friday night by that guy Richie Nelson featuring Deuce Tyrell.
That guy.
And China Bun.
So fine, oh fine, you blow my mind. With the things you do, you are so fine, oh fine, you blow my mind. With the things you do.
I hope you don't think a nigga miss you.
So fine, oh fine.
I seen the poster make me mad, you got some issues. I never meant to hurt you or to misuse you. Don't doubt it, but they ain't tryna flip it like jujitsu. Cause every Friday night we got high on life, leaving YOY. See, it's right on time. Every Friday night we got high on life, leaving YOY. See, it's right on time.
I ain't saying I'm the catch and I ain't saying I'm the prize, but you lost me when you lost me. Been a whole vibe, whole time, but you knew that. You also knew I wasn't with them games. I would laugh how you put them boys through that. Me and you were different. Late night conversations, occasional comfortable silence. Going through writer's block at the time, pull up, get inspired. Buddy be so jealous, I be there, leave his liquor every time. So we taking shots, look. Two jaded pieces that would fit on occasion. Long enough to understand we in two different places. Long enough to comprehend it ain't nothing changing. Long enough to make amends to a toxic arrangement. What we friends are just infatuated strangers regardless. On your end, I hope everything amazing. We horrible with boundaries and I hate it, so I let that bridge burn. What's the safest way to play it?
I don't think a nigga miss you. I seen the poster make me mad, you got some issues. I never meant to hurt you or to misuse you. Don't doubt it, but they ain't tryna flip it like jujitsu. Cause every Friday night we got high on life, leaving YOY. See, it's right on time. Every Friday night we got high on life, leaving YOY. See, it's right on time.
I admit I used to miss it, but I'll never go that route again. Change the course, my GPS would glitch like every now and then. Blinded by the time, but never watched it as it passed me. Knew you weren't good for me, but you became my candy. Now I got a cavity, but it's on my heart. I gave you everything, and all I got was all a card. Looking back so many times, I think you gave me whiplash. Brace yourself, I'm out the door, and you gon' watch my thick bleed. I did it for me. You used to be my dog, but baby, now I gotta flee. Hold them buttons up your sleeve. I used to be naive, felt like I was stuck. I swear it must have been the wheel. I came in on a high, you took me lower than the seat that's in the dirt. Though it hurts, I gotta grow. Just to see it, I gotta sow. Try to water me down while you were playing with them hoes. And I ain't even mad. That's the
I hope
thing
you
you
don't
gotta
think a
know.
nigga miss you. I seen the poster make me mad, you got some issues. I never meant to hurt you or to misuse you. Don't doubt it, but they ain't tryna flip it like jujitsu.
Cause every Friday night. That's me harmonizing.
High on life, leaving YOY. See, it's right on time. Every Friday night, we got high on life, leaving YOY.
That guy do that live,
See,
yeah.
it's right
Different
on time. Say you wanna be my babe, but you're only hit me on Fridays. If
That's
I
right,
had
that's
things
right.
my way, I be in your skin like shade, but every Friday night. Every Friday night. Every Friday night.
Shout out Deuce Tyrell.
Big shout.
Shout out to that guy Richie Nelson. Shout out China
That guy.
Vaughn.
Big shout to that exclusive version with Cool Kid Dave on it.
That's right.
I don't even got that.
That's right. We gonna have to release that one.
Yeah.
We gonna have to release that one.
Yeah.
You were mentioning over at Rinse Do, man. Shout out to Icy the Boss in the Rinse Do platform. I was actually there that night. They were busting out the moves. Man, you always two-stepping. Man, every time I see you out, you two-stepping.
That's how rumors get started. I do not be two-stepping, y'all. I do not be two-stepping. Don't ask me to hit no dance. I don't know no dances. Nope.
Every time I pull up on Rich, he's somewhere two-stepping.
No, it's nothing but skits on my TikTok. Ain't no dance. No.
Speaking of your TikTok, man. What you got going on over in your side of the world, man? I see you had a stream last night, had a couple interviews going on. What you got going on these days?
Yeah, most def. Make sure y'all go check out that Test the Waters Rich Tube TV sit down with a dancer, makeup artist, and now coin water connoisseur. Lay she does dance with Shauna the singer with Rashad. It was real dope. Now don't skip to the end to see which water was which. Like go through the journey.
You got to go through the journey.
Go through the journey to figure out because it will surprise you. Like and I'm actually drinking a completely different water from what I've been drinking just based on that episode alone. I'm not gonna tell you what it is because you gotta go watch the episode. But yeah, we had a good old time.
Do the waters really taste different?
They actually do. It was crazy how that worked out. And it's like if you see the waters that were lined up there, like you would think some waters would taste a certain way, but it was the answers will surprise you.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Now I don't know why they were there. They were doing like the whole like swishing and sniffing, and I'm just like, now look,
it's water.
It's H2O, not a 62 Merlot. Like, come on.
It's water. It's water. I used to not be able to tell the difference of like different waters, but now I can tell a little bit of a difference. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna have to go back and watch that because I want to know.
Yeah,
the people want to know. That's the whole thing with alkaline water too. It's like water has got this whole world to it now. I just knew tap water. I'm from Jackson, Mississippi. We just did tap water.
It was just well water. Right?
Yeah, well water. See, yeah. I don't know. When you grow, you learn. When you know more, you do better, as they say.
Now, speaking of knowing more, I don't know if you have more announcements, but I was really interested in hearing about the economics of this whole taking it. Going back to physical. Yeah.
I want to talk about the economics of this. We got some announcements. We're going to get to them in a little bit. But right now, the topic and the main conversation is just running the show right now. If you're just joining in, we're talking about independent artists, mainly independent artists, and where they're releasing their music to. It's been a conversation about, all the DSPs and how it takes so much to, make any kind of revenue from it. And you're finding a lot of artists that are either taking their music down from Spotify, namely Spotify right now, taking their music down, not releasing their music. And you have some artists that are a lot of artists actually are going back to physical copies. You got people printing CDs, and selling CDs again. You got people, I've seen cassette tapes again. You got people doing hard drives. And I mean, the reach is different. We were talking about the DSPs. You can reach people in Brazil and Australia, just because of the internet. And so it's kind of harder to do that hand-to-hand thing. But the economics. Let's talk about the economics. You're looking at the streams, there's different prices for different DSPs, right? You get 0.000 cent, 0.03 cent, for every stream or whatever the case is, right? And so it takes, thousands and thousands of streams to make $100, in a month. And we can talk about the exact numbers, but that's the general gist of it. But if you sell a CD, a physical CD for $5 to $10, which I'm just throwing numbers out here, right? Mm-hmm. And you can have a run over a 3-month span, performing, selling merch. If you sell 5 CDs at every event, mm-hmm. You're at that 500,000, and it's the cost of it becomes it kind of grows faster. Does it?
I would still say to still at least know why you're doing it. If you're making a point to just not use streaming because you don't want to use it, that's cool. But if like you just taking it your music down because everybody else is, then now hold on, I want you to think for a second.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah.
because everything you just said, you can still do all those things while still having, what I'm saying, a streaming presence. Like, all your physical copies could go out 2 to 3 weeks early. You're still promoting the music. The music is still out. You're saying out now, but people are coming to you like, if what I'm saying, if your music is good, or people are coming to you like, yo, you say it's out, but I don't see it on the platforms. Well, we just doing physical for the first 2 weeks. So if you want to buy a physical copy, then what I'm saying, boom, you can get it early. Otherwise, just wait a couple weeks, then it'll be out. Or what I'm saying, you can listen to it, listen to the snippets. Like, but if you don't want to listen to the snippets, then get this physical copy. I feel like that is a business model of somebody that I'm taking that from to like if
Do
people
the
want
snippet.
like kind of not even the snippets, but like if you want a physical copy, release the physical copies early, or release it to a certain. It used to be you were just release it to a certain platform, just on that platform early.
Right.
I believe Drake used to do like the Apple Music exclusives.
That's right. Yeah.
So like you would have like a send the physical exclusives, and then if it brand it up a bit, it comes with a T-shirt, it's signed, it what I'm saying, all of that. Do vinyl records.
Vinyl. That was the other one. Yeah.
That come out a couple weeks before streaming. Now I'm saying like if you are making now all of this can be done. You don't even have to put it on streaming if you are if you are at a point where it's like you don't want to even have to deal with any of that. Then yeah, do all of that. But if you don't mind, then do that. But just also kind of make streaming like all right. Now it's like released to everybody. Kind of. But if people like that's really locked in with you, they're gonna come get it early.
Yeah.
It's all about like knowing, like know why you're doing it. What I'm saying, operate within your reach, and then what I'm saying, just make sure you maximize whatever you monetize.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But don't listen to me. I just know that guy. I'm not really
You just know that guy.
I just know that guy. Yeah, that's
I feel that because I'll be thinking about I'm not an artist putting out music. I mean for fun. Catch me on SoundCloud sometimes, but I would also look at it like almost opposite. Like release the.
So if you were to have a name on SoundCloud, what would it?
Hey, you never know what it would be. I ain't saying that on the radio.
Okay. We'll figure that out.
Yeah, we'll figure that out later, right? But no, I would do it opposite. And this is just me like spitballing and having this conversation. Look, if you're out there and you want to, you got an opinion, you want to talk to us, go ahead and call in 919-899-9305.
Write that down.
That's right.
Write that down.
Write it down.
Be on Rich Radio.
But if I was putting out music, I might put out on streaming first and like try to cast a wide net and get as many people to hear it as humanly possible across the globe, wherever my fan base is, as humanly possible, get them to bite and then systematically take it down. Now, the only way that they can listen to it again, if they really like it, is to buy it. Is to buy the physical copy.
Let's meet somewhere in the middle. How about you cast out with the single, and
Okay,
then
okay.
make the album unattainable either for a while or only make it attainable physically. The singles go out, so let the streams like you only drop singles. But what I'm saying, all your diehard fans like, nah, he about 4-5 albums in. Yo, you gotta be tuned in. You gotta get the physicals. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why I did that voice, Charlotte.
But that feels like the mixtape voice. That feels like it feels like Gangsta Grill. That's so you had to go back to the mixtape days. We giving mixtape vibes right now.
Yeah, So definitely cast out. But then once you got them reeled in, then maximize. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
Because again, you got to account for the reach. And then also, when you were kind of explaining like the price breakdown, yes, of course, the streaming price payout could be a bit bigger, but it's just like bigger reach.
Right.
Bigger reach, and it's just more like that it
It's
gets
a numbers
solved
game.
to. Like you have the potential to get like because you with the streams you could get what do they call it, placed on what I'm saying, you get placement, and once there's no placement when you just have physical copies, and like that placement brings out a whole new fan base, what I'm saying, and then kind of like that adds on to the reach. Now you could there may be like a physical alternative for placements, but it's just like there are a lot of people that go to those playlists whenever they're trying to figure out like what's what's new, what's hip, what's
Yeah,
going
that's
on.
the thing. Yeah, the playlists have become a big thing.
But I will say that all of this is very much possible because, kind of like we just brought up TikTok earlier, there are so many unreleased songs on TikTok that are so popular. So if you want to play that game, you figure out which one is your catchiest song. You know, maybe contract out somebody to put a dance together, or contract out somebody that's in the media to do a skit. And then kind of help you with that. And then it's just like once you get the traction, everybody looking for the song. Then that's where you got them in the palm of your hands. What do you want to do with them then? Do you want to say like, all right, it's on the way out now that the demand is up, or reach out, get the physical copies? Now that all depends on where you are as far as like a brand.
A brand in your fan base.
You
Yeah.
might turn some people, or you are going to turn some people away once you
Yeah.
start hollering about physical copies and all of that. But it's just who is gonna rock with you enough to fight through that, like physical copy, but you are good. You know what I'm saying? Type of thing.
Yeah, and that was going to be my next point. Is like I like going out to shows and seeing different artists and different things. It depends on the community and it depends on the fan base, but there is an appetite for that physical copy. There is an appetite in this generation, right? Like, everything of course is on our phone, on our iPads, on in the digital world. But you're seeing more and more people go to the school kids records, go to the Poorhouse Musics, go to the Hunky Dories to buy vinyl. You're seeing like a lot of people go buy vinyl.
Because it's a vintage aesthetic.
Yeah.
Vintage aesthetic. Yeah, y'all got it. Y'all heard it. Well,
They got a hold on you, don't it? They caught you.
yeah, that S, I kept slipping into it.
That's aesthetic.
Yeah, but it's just like, it's vintage, it's retro, and it's just play into that. It's you gotta figure out what, because it's the kids are the future. I remember being a kid and they used to say that. I'd be like, man, y'all, bro, just be quiet. But it's just like now I'm here and it's just like, hey, you gotta. Them kids is gonna be the one. They gonna be here one day.
Yeah.
It's just like if you get them while they there and they get here, then you guess what? You had a 20-year
Then
run.
you on. Yeah. Then you had Then you had a 20-year run. And I started to learn that as well. Like with the TikToks of the world, like that's how you have longevity. If you can grab a fan base, the younger you can grab the fan base, the longer you can ride it out. And yes, it's something about that vintage feel that people are loving right now. Tangible merch sales, man. When I first started, doing this media thing and all that, I'm like, man, ain't nobody buying merch. Yeah, they do actually. They do. And that physical, tangible thing, I think things have, gotten so digital, right, that we're disconnected. It feels like this turning of a tide to where younger generation wants that physical thing to hold.
Because everything is digital.
Because everything is digital.
And I was listening to Currency. He was sitting down on the 85 South show. Big shouts to both.
Big shout outs to them.
Big shouts to Currency and the 85 South show. But he was just talking about how shirts is where it's like, because you want people to support, but people don't know how else to support without something that how do they walk away and feel like they supported it besides showing up.
Yeah.
Because you got the people that'll show up and they may buy something at the bar, but it's just like, how do they walk away feeling like they supported you?
Yeah.
And that's where their merch would come in. So it's just like, so if you're having the merch already selling, it's nothing to kind of just bring over like, look, we dropped the album a week early. If you wanted a week early, you can buy it with a shirt. You know what I'm saying? And then there's that. It's all about operating within your reach. Like, maybe you're not there yet to do this, but you can be. But maybe you're already there and you should start. It's just, everybody, it should just, the same way you go about creating a song should be the same way you're going about, maximizing the fruits of your labor.
There's so much to think about though, man. There's so much to think about. And I think we're spending a lot of time talking about this because, we're mainly talking about the independent artists and the independent realm, and even like smaller record labels that are doing it, where the artist still has to have an understanding of a lot of this stuff. And there's a lot that goes into it to get that fan base, to get that buzz. And, a lot of people, some people are in it purely just to make music and to have fun. Myself, I'm one of those people. I just do it, just to make
We're
some
gonna
music.
find the SoundCloud. Don't you worry about it.
And have
Dedicate. We're gonna invite him to the show. He didn't even know he's gonna be a guest on Rich Radio, and we playing all the music.
playing all of
I
it.
cleaned it up for you. I did everything. Yeah.
It's gonna be a listening party that I ain't know I was invited to.
Yeah.
But some people like me just make music. But we have a lot of people that come through this station. A lot of people that are in this area, this arena, this community that are trying to push the envelope and trying to grow. And these are we just having a conversation. There's so many different ways to do this, right?
But this is the time to do it. There's
Yeah.
never been so much direct to consumer.
Consumer, yeah, that's the word. DTC, yeah.
It's never been so much of that at this time of day. Like information direct to you. If you are shopping directly from, you can either shop with the store or the people that the store buys from. Like it's just everything is accessible now. So it's just this is the time to do it. It's just make sure that it's done right. Don't jump out there and you just made your second song yesterday unless you already have a following doing something else. Like,
yeah, and that's transferable. That can be transferable.
That's probably the most transferable these days. It's a lot of artists out here that were popular before they even jumped into the studio, and that's how the music is selling. See, they were able to sell intangibles before they even picked up a mic.
Right.
That's where you got to be. Like, can you sell something? Can you be like Pootie Tang? Can you sell a blank disc?
Yeah.
We kind of laughed over that back then, but it was like Pootie Tang could sell a blank disc.
A blank disc.
Like, and I feel like I know maybe one or two people that could sell a blank disc. It's just, is that you? I'm looking at the camera.
Is that you? Is that you? These are all great questions. So we're gonna run a track, and I got a couple after we come out of this track. I got a couple announcements, but I actually want to broach a topic as we talk about Spotify, as we talk about this. And I want to broach this topic of AI generated music and how that fits into the landscape of things, or does it? But before we get there, I want to run this track by DeAndre featuring Chimera. DeAndre has an album coming out. He's going to be having a listening party over at Lucky Tree October 3rd at 9 p.m. Shout out to Lucky Tree. They have an open mic every other Monday. I want to say it's the second and fourth Monday of the month. Really great atmosphere, really great people. They got a really good community building up. DeAndre is one of those. He's a producer. He's a singer. He's one of those people that I really rock with. This is one of his older tracks. He hasn't released the album yet. So just listen to it and see if you vibe with it. This is Intentional by DeAndre and Chimera.
You don't know if I mean it, no. 'Cause I don't really show it. That's on me for concealing my heart. Don't wanna be the hurt that you're healing from. We don't have to start again if it doesn't end. Don't have to press pause. I'm not a lost cause. I can see a light that's coming in around the bend. Don't break. You're my only best friend. I can't even pretend. And I'm sorry if I made you feel like I was holding back. I know the way I act sometimes. I know the way I act sometimes. And I can't expect for you to open up if I'm not showing love. That's hypocritical, and I'm above that. I wanna be intentional. I want you to know that I want you. 'Cause you're so unforgettable. I wanna be intentional. I wanna be intentional. I want you to know that I want you. 'Cause you're so unforgettable. I wanna be intentional.
I love the way you understand me. We don't need to play no games, believe me. Let's take our time with this thing. I made a promise with this ring. I'll touch your soul when I sing. I'll touch your soul with this. 'Cause you're the only one to have my heart. I knew right from the very start. And every time that we're apart, I get called back to you. I love living life with you. It's intentional. The man above put me in your path, and I don't wanna ever go back. So perfect about you, and baby, you deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it.
I wanna be intentional. I want you to know that I want you. You're so unforgettable. I wanna be intentional. I want you to know that I want you. You're so unforgettable.
Shout out to DeAndre and Camara. That's just the vibe. That was intentional by DeAndre featuring Camara. That's just the vibe, and that's his type of vibe. So he's coming out with an album release party October 3rd over at Lucky Tree. Lucky Tree is in Raleigh, right off of Hillsboro, right down the street from NC State. And just shout out to him. I always I'm appreciative when he puts out music. He produces and he sings, so he produces all of his tracks. He produces for multiple people. Donovan Harrell, who was on here, DeAndre produces for him. He produces for a couple of people in the area. And yeah, shout out to DeAndre. So we're having this conversation about Spotify and about digital platforms and about how artists are pulling their music down and just kind of what's going on in that realm right now. So we were talking about the economics of it. We've been talking about, does it make sense, just from a fan base perspective and a reach perspective? Another reason that artists have been, this is just what people have been reporting. Another reason that artists have been pulling their music down is because they don't really agree with the AI generated music and how Spotify is allowing that to skew the data. They see it as unfair.
Now, when you say AI generated, what exactly do you mean? Like it was a song created from scratch and now it's actually, in
rotation and in playlist and all that kind of stuff. And so now the numbers, it's pulling data, and it's pulling, as they would consider, unfair data because it's not human generated music. So if it's pulling a whole bunch of streams and going off the charts crazy or whatever, they're considering that not to be fair.
So a self-driving car is on the racetrack and people are now leaving the racetrack. Is that?
That's that. There we go. There we go.
I mean, that's the way to do it. I don't know if this was, because you know how biopics go. It may not be as accurate as it was. I just remember that part in Little Richard where like when they were like kind of like washing his song. I think there's a word in front of that. I'm not sure.
Not blackwashing it, but whitewashing it.
Yeah, I didn't know if you could say that. I'm still reading the FCC guidelines. But
it's a long list.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I remember saying like he can't, like they can't match me. They can't match the energy. I can speed it up. I could really go for it. So it's just, if the computer can only do what you unless it's starting to like free think, and we it's a couple movies where that could go completely wrong, and we're not even talking about music. But
right.
But for right now, I wouldn't say compete, but it's what's the best way to say it? You're better than that, so just show them that you're better than that.
Are you okay with AI generated music being in the marketplace?
Are we nominating it for Grammys, or are we nominating the AI artists, or the people that created the song from scratch? Because it gives the people that don't have a voice themselves a voice. If you can create a song from scratch with zeros and ones, and it turns out to be something beautiful because a human put those zeros and ones in. I think that's dangerous.
It's
a dangerous game, but it could up the competition a little bit because it's
You got to make that its own category. See, you brought up the Grammys. That was a good point. I hadn't thought about that. You got to make that its own.
well, I would say more so like billboards. And
Yeah, or
Grammys
awards.
because-
Yeah,
because
in competition.
We probably never see like an AI artist win like a Grammy because that's like a committee and all of that. So they probably wouldn't allow that. You know, what I'm saying for a good reason. But yeah, if the song came from a human, whether they went to the studio and sung it themselves or they went to the studio and put those zeros and ones together, then sure, as long as it came from the human mind, because the human mind has limitations. It can only create so much. But if it was something that like you kind of just put a prompt in, make this song, da 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 da, then no. Like if it's coming from like you putting into a prompt like, you know what I'm saying, like Chat GPT or something like, can you make a song about this? You know what I'm saying, use this chord, use this, that, and the third. Then like no, like you go in with your own lyrics, you craft the voice in that computer, and you know what I'm saying, and then you go for it. That's for the people that, you know, maybe they physically have no voice, or you know what I'm saying, maybe they lost their voice and they kind of, you know, maybe they're reestablishing like AI generated stuff, but they still know the notes. They still have to go in there and plug it in. Like as long as it's hard.
So it's like auto tune on steroids.
It's more so like I would say they're maybe taking like an old version of their voice and kind of like remastering it, like, and then making sure like, and then putting it into the AI to make sure like the notes are there and all of that. Like it's real complicated. As long as you, it's a lot of gray area. I would say until we find the limitations for it, kind of keep it away from like general competition right now, and it's like, you know, most simplest form, keep it away. But until somebody can go in and like completely make a song from scratch, and the only thing they did like without using their voice at all, then yeah.
But see, I think that's there though. I think that's what people are talking about. They're talking about that, and I'll be honest, man. I'll be honest. Like I'm a person. I produce in the box, right? That's most of the time I'm
You produce too?
Like,
I gotta find this.
you know, I produce. You know, I grew up, you know, on Pro Tools. I produce, you know, whether it's GarageBand, Logic, or whatever the case it is. Cool, I got you. But at the same time, man, there's nothing. I'm still old school in this. I'm caught up in the analog world. Like there's nothing like physically playing a guitar, physically playing a sax, physically playing a keyboard. So the further we get away from that,
would you be opposed to AI reference tracks being like passed around where it's just like, here's a reference track, we like, you know what I'm saying, this is exactly what you should sound like or close to it, singing it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not opposed to it, but I don't like it.
You know, it's a reference track that'll never it'll never see the charts. Can't say it won't see the light of day because anything that touches
Right.
will eventually see the light. But like, you know, and this is just like a more efficient way of, you know, say you wrote something for somebody, but you don't sing it well, and you kind of want them to sing it exactly how you hear it in your head. So you boot up the good old Allen Iverson. You make a reference track of how the reference should be, and then you send it to them and they're like, yo, you know, either match this or bring something better. And that also sets like the bar. All right, like you hear yourself with this Allen Iverson. Can you match it or can you make it better? Kind of go back to that Little Richard. You know, that's there.
I love the idea. I'm an engineer by trade. I love it.
Because at the end of the day, John and Henry beat the machine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But God, the reference track. That's a really great application though. That is a really great application. Reference track, you put it in, you make it, you can get out exactly what you hear in your head, because that's something I struggle with, right? Like I produce, but I'm not the greatest singer in the world, but I hear things and I can hear music and I hear it a certain way. I just can't get it out, right? But if I can program something to be what I hear and I can pass it along to somebody that can actually fulfill that in an analog sense, it's just another tool in the toolbox.
And then that opens the door for more songwriters
in collaboration.
They can't really sing. Like
I
feel like a lot of
Yeah.
songwriters, the successful songwriters are songwriters that probably could have did a music career themselves. They just decided. But I just think about all the people that can write actual songs that maybe not are as far along because they actually got to go contract the singer out to do it, and it's not even the singer that's going to do the song for them, and it's just.
Right.
You know, what if they contract a singer out? The singer wants the song, they buy the song, but the song ain't as big as it could have been because you was going to shop it around with somebody else, but you just sold it to the person that was going to do the reference for you.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Or you contract a singer out. Because I remember, I think T-Pain was supposed to do a song with Michael Jackson and Usher, and they did the reference track, and the reference track leaked by leaked by the reference artist. So the song never came to be because once the leak came out, Mike didn't want to do the song no more.
Right.
So it's just like it. Now imagine if AI was there to just, hey, Michael, this is how it's supposed to. This is how you're supposed to sound. Well,
Man,
this is
that's
how
crazy,
this is how it would've
man.
went. And then it just, now, that's I feel like, should it be on the charts right now? No, because it's too bland. It's too simple. You can put in 10 words and come out with a whole song. Is there a place for it in the efficiency of song making? I think so.
Yeah, I think like with anything else, I think with AI in general, with Allen Iverson in general, in music and outside of music, there's got to be safeguards, right? There's got to be some legislation, and I look at it like what happened with sampling, right? I look at the same conversations we were happening when sampling first became this huge thing, and what can you sample, what has to be cleared, there was such a time where clearing music wasn't even a thing, right? You just did it. And then legislation comes out, whatever. Same concept with digital, streaming. That we start with the Napsters of the world and LimeWires, and then they have to crack down, make some rules around it, and then you get here where we are today having this conversation. So I think we're in this like wild, wild west, and I think to use it as a tool, you brought up a very great application there. That's the reference tracks. That's a great application.
And with that tool, safeguards should be in place. Like I believe all AI generated songs should have some type of dog whistle frequency that can be detected from an AI test.
Yeah.
Same way you would use like a marker to find counterfeit money.
Correct.
It should be like a dog whistle that no one else that we can't hear, because it's supposed to be just for reference. This is supposed to be for reference. But the moment you try to put it somewhere where it can be monetized, and you didn't say it was Allen Iverson, they catch it right on the spot because they hear the dog whistle.
Yeah.
Or like the audio barcode or whatever. That's what they would call that.
Yeah, that's 100%. I take a step further. I think there should be separate categories. I don't think that an AI, a 100% AI generated track should be competing on the billboards with a singer songwriter who recorded acoustic guitar and an acoustic mic. I don't think they should be competing. I think there's an unfair competition. Because there's this, but I don't know. I mean, that's a slippery slope because I produce inside the box, right?
As of right now, no, it shouldn't be, because it's like I said, it's too simple.
Yeah.
There's not everybody is freely able to go in and kind of like tweak.
That's another part of it. Yeah.
Now, maybe someone in Silicon Valley somewhere that can actually physically go in and do the zeros and ones right now, but of course he would have to show his work. He would have to really present how he made this song from literally zeros and ones. But once you do that, once it's I feel like if it's one of those, and then like it's like a certifiable AI, like CAI, for example, like they might call it that. It's a CAI song, a certified AI song, and it it's on the charts because it's certified, because they certified that it was made literally from
there you go
scratch.
ASCAP, they finna hire you. They finna hire you. Come in and write the code, write the legislation for them. Starting with CIA. That's what we starting with. That's how we starting this whole journey. We're gonna start it with CIA.
Now, since we are getting to the end, I did want to ask this.
What's good?
As far as the streaming platforms and the artists, who do you think needs who more? In this exact day and age where everything is direct to consumer, but also just about everything is digital. I think today, the artist needs the platform more. And my quick reasoning here is because it's a numbers game. Mm-hmm. There's just way more artists out there. Even if half the artists took their songs off, there's still more than enough artists for the platforms to sustain and to still be filthy rich. Mm-hmm. Whereas, like we talked about earlier in the show, taking your music down, that's a lot of work. That's a slow cook. Not saying it's impossible. Not saying you shouldn't. It's just a slow cook. Whereas you take your music off of Spotify,
you know, it might hurt, but in the grand scheme, that's today.
Yeah, I totally agree. I feel like there are some outliers out there that they would probably do even better if their music wasn't readily accessible just because of how good the product is. But yeah, as a whole, I feel like yeah, artists do need those distribution sites just a tad bit more than the sites you need an artist.
The only way that would break up fast in a very quick way is if the major labels were to were to pull down, and that's just not going to happen.
Yeah, because they're too
they're too intertwined. So as long as the major labels are still utilizing it, the platforms are still sustaining. Now, if the major labels were to pull apart and they were to go back like straight direct to consumer, straight hard copy, then the platforms, then everybody's doing it. That's just how the industry works. It's just my opinion. But look, we are getting to the bottom of this thing. Hey, we still got a couple more minutes. If you want to jump into this conversation, you still got about 2 or 3 more minutes. We're talking about Spotify. We're talking about Allen Iverson, AI. We're just having a conversation about DSPs, digital streaming platforms, and artists having their music up there or not. If you want to jump in this conversation real quick, the number is 919-899-9305. That's 919-899-9305. Like you said, write it down. Write it down. Look, I didn't mention it at the top of the show, but you know I got to mention it. It is Tuesday. It's Tuesday, and you already know where you should be on Tuesday. CJ Baker's open mic night over at Rhythm and Brews, right outside of downtown Durham on Fayetteville Street, in between downtown Durham and NCCU. Tonight, their featured artist is Trav. I have interviewed him multiple times. That's my guy. He has the Mary Jane Tribute Band, the Premium Sound Band, one of the best entertainers in the Triangle, in my humble opinion. He's going to be starting up at 9. He goes from about 9 to 9:45. Then after that, it's an open mic jam session. So bring your rhymes, bring your raps, bring your instruments, and you can get on the mic and just have a good time. The food is amazing. And I will be there. I mean, I'm not I ain't nobody to talk to, but I'll be there chilling out, having a good time. CJ Baker's open mic. Also, it is Tuesday. Slim's, downtown Raleigh, the Yonder Band. They have an open mic. It's right there. I think it's on Morgan Street. Don't quote me on that. It's right behind Moore Square, right behind the bus station. Right there, Slim's. Really cool spot. Once again, another great vibe. If you're an artist out there and you're looking for places to exercise your music, exercise your talent, and to network, connect, there's more than enough places to meet artists, to meet people. Even if you don't perform, it's just a great place to go and be around like-minded people. All right? Rich, what you got for the people as we sign off of here?
Hey, test the waters. Make sure you go check out that sit down. Like and subscribe, RDU Live, as well as RichTube TV. Last Friday, literally the last Friday of the year. Be sure to be there. And we got a couple streams coming up. We got they're theme streams, so I kind of want to keep the themes of those streams kind of quiet for now. But the last stream, go check out Trippy TV. I'm not going to tell you why we call it Trippy TV, but if you watch the stream, you will definitely understand why. But yeah, all in all, just yeah.
What can they find RichTube TV? What can they do that at?
Oh yeah, RichTube TV that's the YouTube page. But if you just open Google or step right outside, there's that little rock right there by the door where you usually keep your house key. Just flip it over at Rich Nelson 2K. It was there that whole time. Just follow and it'll take you right over to the YouTube. It'll take you over to the Twitch. Take you over to the TikTok.
Take you over to the TikTok.
Yeah, it'll take you through there. I think that's how that song goes. How the kids saying.
You on TikTok? You on TikTok?
Yeah, Rich Nelson 2K. Yeah.
He's on TikTok, guys.
No dancing. No.
Hey, he knew what I was about to say. If you want to catch him two-stepping, you gotta see him in person.
You gotta see him. Yeah, that's You can only physically see me two-step in person. Like that's what we learned today. That's what I learned from all of this. You will not see me two-stepping on Spotify.
Not CM27 on Spotify. That is true. That is true, my friends. And with that, we gonna sign off of here. Look, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. You know it's the RDU Live show right here on Oak 93.5 every Tuesday from 6 to 7 p.m. I'm your host, Cam. Buckle up out there. Be safe if you're out there on YouTube, Facebook. I appreciate you. We'll see you next time. Like I like to say, let's go live, baby.
And if you leave me alone, that just put me in my element. My element. And if my back against the wall, that just put me in my element. My element. You can never hurt Josh Soldier. Been here before, but now I'm starting over. We just showed up for the takeover. All black like a Range Rover. Big ego make you drop down like a Nelly song. Melody I sing make it wanna sing along. Watch the TV, know the way we living wrong, and we won't even know until it's gone. Self-inflicted trauma, distant from my mama. Doctor or a robber, I'm trying to make $1. Ain't no sympathy for winners and dreamers. Paranoia got me riding with my eaters. Ain't no justice for a black man, no black kid. Got me holding on my son like a crack dead. And if you leave me alone, that just put me in my element. My element. And if my back against the wall, that just put me in my element. My element. And if you leave me alone, I'll be good by myself. I'll spend time with myself. I'll have fun by myself. And if my back against the wall, trust me, I have seen worse. I lost my soldiers, my brothers. Worst of all, they did it to each other. And if you leave me alone, that just put me in my element. My element. And if my back against the wall, that just put me in my element. My element.
Community Radio, WRLY.